Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. So, if you've been struggling with gut issues like bloating, inflammation, or even unexplained discomfort, then today's Facebook Live is for you. We're going to be talking about something that might be affecting your gut health in ways you haven't considered, and that's oxalates. Now, oxalates are one of those terms you might have heard in passing, or maybe not at all. But did you know that they could be a key factor in your digestive health and overall wellness? So, today I'll explain what oxalates are and why they might be causing problems within your gut and what you can do about it. Now, first, let's talk about what are oxalates. We'll start with the basics. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds found in many plant-based foods. They act like a natural defense mechanism for plants, protecting them from pests. So, plants like spinach, kale, beets, and sweet potatoes are actually packed with oxalates. Now, while oxalates are not inherently bad, too many oxalates in your system can cause problems, especially when your gut isn't processing them properly. So here's why. Normally, when we eat foods with oxalates, they're absorbed in the digestive tract and then processed by the kidneys. But if you have gut issues such as leaky gut or an imbalance within your gut bacteria, your body may struggle to handle them. So, how do oxalates affect the gut? Oxalates can affect your gut in a few ways, and let's break this down. The first thing is oxalates and gut permeability, which is also known as leaky gut. If you have leaky gut, which is where the lining of your gut is damaged and leaky, oxalates can pass through the gut wall and enter the bloodstream. This can trigger inflammation and make your symptoms worse. In fact, oxalates are known to irritate the digestive system and even exacerbate conditions like IBS and SIBO, which, for those of y'all watching that may not know, that means small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And the second thing would be oxalate sensitivity. Some people have a condition called oxalate sensitivity, which means that their body has a harder time processing oxalates. So instead of being broken down and processed effectively, oxalates can build up and cause problems in the digestive tract. This can lead to bloating, cramps, and just overall digestive upset. Now, the third thing is gut microbiome imbalance. So, oxalates can also disrupt the balance of your gut bacteria. Healthy gut bacteria helps break down oxalates and keeps them from building up. But if you have an imbalance of gut bacteria, which is common with conditions like SIBO or dysbiosis, oxalates may not be processed properly and they can trigger digestive issues. The next thing would be formation of oxalate crystals. So when oxalates aren't properly broken down, they can bind to calcium and form calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals can deposit into the gut lining, causing inflammation and pain. They can also lead to other health problems like kidney stones and joint pain. So for those of y'all who have had kidney stones in the past or reoccurring, you most likely have an oxalate issue. Now, what are some signs that oxalates might be affecting your gut? How can you tell if oxalates are affecting your gut? So, here are a few signs to watch out for. The first one would be bloating and gas. If you often feel bloated after eating certain vegetables or foods high in oxalates, this could be a sign that your body is having trouble processing them. And the next thing would be overall just digestive discomfort. If you experience stomach cramps, nausea, or diarrhea after consuming foods like spinach, almonds, or beets, oxalates could actually be the culprit here. And then the next thing would be, are you experiencing joint pain or inflammation? If you've noticed an increase in joint pain, especially after eating high oxalate foods, it could be linked to oxalates binding to calcium in your body and forming crystals. And the last thing would be brain fog. So some people report feeling mentally foggy or fatigued after consuming high oxalate foods. This might be linked to oxalates interfering with nutrient absorption, especially calcium and magnesium, which are important, crucial for brain function. Okay, so why are oxalates more problematic for some people? Not everyone will have issues with oxalates, and for most people, they're not a problem when consumed in moderation. However, there are a few reasons why oxalates can be problematic for some people. The first thing would be leaky gut. And as mentioned earlier, if you have leaky gut, the lining of your intestines is compromised and oxalates can leak into your bloodstream and cause systemic inflammation. This can actually make your symptoms worse. And the second thing is dysbiosis. So if you have an imbalance of gut bacteria, which is also known as dysbiosis, your gut might not be able to break down oxalates properly, which means more oxalates are being absorbed and causing problems. And then the third thing is genetic factors. Some people may have a genetic predisposition that makes them more sensitive to oxalates or less efficient at processing them. This can lead to oxalate accumulation in the body. And then the last thing would be kidney function. Oxalates are mainly processed by the kidneys. So if you have impaired kidney function, you might be at a higher risk for developing kidney stones or experiencing oxalate related issues. Now, what can you do to manage oxalates and support your gut health? If you suspect oxalates are affecting your gut, there are several steps that you can take to manage them and improve your gut health. The first thing would be the obvious, which is reduce high oxalate foods. So if you're dealing with gut discomfort or other symptoms related to oxalates, it may be helpful to reduce high oxalate foods in your diet for a short period of time. Again, foods like spinach, rhubarb, almonds, sweet potatoes are all high in oxalates. So it's not about avoiding them forever, but maybe start with a small break while you heal your gut. And the next thing would be increase low oxalate foods. So incorporate low oxalate foods into your meals. Vegetables like lettuce and cucumbers and cauliflower are lower in oxalates and can support a healthy gut. You want to focus on healthy fats like avocado and lean proteins like chicken or fish. And the next step would be gut healing. This is an important, crucial step. If you have leaky gut, it's important to work on healing the gut lining. Incorporate foods and supplements that support gut health, like bone broth, collagen, and gut healing herbs like slippery elm and marshmallow root. Probiotics can also balance gut bacteria and support digestion. Just be leery because certain conditions will be counterintuitive to certain probiotics. So keep in mind with that. And the next thing you can do is support detoxification. Supporting your body's natural detox processes can help your body clear out oxalates more effectively. You want to drink plenty of water to help flush oxalates out of your system and consider using binders like activated charcoal to help remove oxalates from your gut. And then lastly, work with a practitioner. If you're still struggling with gut health or symptoms related to oxalates, working with a functional practitioner can help. They can guide you on the best foods, supplements, and lifestyle changes that are right for your specific needs. So now that you know the role of oxalates in gut health and how they might be silently affecting you, have you experienced any symptoms after eating high oxalate foods? Or maybe you're dealing with gut issues that just won't seem to resolve. I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments, so drop them below. And if this information resonated with you and you're ready to take control of your gut health, reach out as it is time that you stop struggling. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.